Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Danger Zone. This is Lance Danger speaking, and this is day 9 of 100 Days of Making Comics. And as I mentioned in the previous video, I'm going to give a small look at my personal website, which is enterthedangerzone.weebly.com. Yes, I know it's a mouthful for now, but until I'm able to buy my own domain name, this is as good as it'll get. So anyway, after the bombshell of the cliffhanger of the last video that the smoke detector suddenly went off, strategically cueing my end for the video, everything's okay. Just housemates cooking in the kitchen. It's the usual thing around here. So for those of you that were thinking that maybe the house was on fire, no, not today. Oh god, that was lame. Anyway, so this here is my personal website. I've had various websites over the years. I've done like my own like WordPress sites. One of my first websites was actually the Angel Fire sites. If anybody remembers Angel Fire, wow, that website is actually still around. I still have it. I think if the system didn't shut it down or something, it should still be out there. It would be funny to just look back at that old website and I'll probably do another stream of that old website just for laughs or something at some other point. But this is 100 Days of Making Comics, so enough of that nonsense. Here is the small blurb of what's playing right now on Fred Peterson, The Mighty Warlord. We're in chapter 22 right now. It's been on chapter 22 for a while now, though not as long as chapter 21. I'm not going to beat the... Well, some of you probably don't know anyway, because a few people that have been watching the videos don't know everything yet. So for those who have heard it time and time again, I apologize. But in 2010, towards the end of 2010, I had a car accident that nearly killed me, for lack of a better word. And it was a bit of a process to be able to get back to normal, to the point where I could draw again. And after I did, I kind of started drawing like a maniac, to the point where I burned myself out emotionally and physically, to the point where I have been struggling a bit these past few years on staying consistent like I was before the accident. And the fact that throughout the years, a lot of things that have happened in my personal life hasn't helped. Like the room where I'm at here, my girlfriend and I got flooded a couple of times, and I lost a lot of material, lost a few equipment as well. I've also had a series of mishaps health-wise, like tearing tendons in my ankle, re-injuring an old shoulder injury as well, and not to mention that towards the end of last year I had a fracture in my hand as well. So it's been a lot of contributing factors to why things have slowed down dramatically compared to the pace that I had before 2010. It was like after the car accident, like a floodgate of a series of unfortunate events happened, as one of my older physical therapists had said when I would tell her like the the accidents that have happened to me over the years. Yeah, that's kind of funny in a way. I should make that into my Nevermind strips. And speaking of strips, let's take the small tour of my site as well. As I told you, here's the small blurb for the current chapter of Warlord. Here is the art summary for 2015. 2015 was probably my most consistent year since 2010 art-wise. As I mentioned, I finished a handful of webcomics and web strips that had been hanging throughout the years. because of the aforementioned physical ailments and the emotional and mental burnout and all that stuff. I was able to finish a handful of webcomics that I had left hanging, like Delta Task Force Team 1. I finished chapter 1 of that webcomic finally. I also finished season 5 of Nevermind, which is my auto-bio strip. You'll forgive me for the noise outside. I believe today is the garbage collection day, so it's a bit noisy right now. I hope it's not too bad, because I don't know if I'll have time to re-record this later on, since I'm taking winter courses and pretty much a 12-week semester is crammed into 6 weeks. So yeah, a lot of work to be done aside from my comics and personal life and all that. But anyway, as I was saying, I finished season 5 of Nevermind. I finished season 2 of Webamani Webito. I finished season 2 of The Cannon Girl. I actually finally also finished chapter 21 of Warlord, which had been going on for quite a few years. I didn't even realize how many years had passed until a Facebook memory popped up on my feed talking about a page I had uploaded a couple of years ago. And I'm like, man, I felt bad, man. Feels bad, man, that it's taken me so long to do this storyline. And it was going to be just a short storyline acting as a bridge between the second and fourth storyline in book 2, which is the fourth storyline will be the final storyline of book 2. Just 3 small chapters, nothing too crazy, something that will help with the transition and tie up some loose ends. And somehow I apologize, I just burned out because of all the things that happened, and I jumped in probably a little too soon and too eager to prove to myself that I could still do this, without realizing that sometimes slow and steady pays off in the long run instead of just burning out the way I did. It was a spectacular crash, if you want to look at it that way, in more ways than one. Yes, I have a bit of a morbid, self-deprecating humor, if you haven't noticed by now. But anyway, I was able to finish those projects, and for this year I really want to finish Stupid the Cat and Exorcist, and if not this year, at the very least end chapters 2 and 3 of Clown Rogue Assassin. That was going to be for chapter miniseries. I'm on chapter 2 starting. Like, I did like maybe 3 pages of chapter 2 of Clown, if I'm not mistaken. If not, I'm just gonna torture you guys and just show it off anyway. Well, here are my blogs. As I mentioned before, my blogs here on my personal website are a little bit more intimate. I also do a bit more reviews of stuff that I like personally. I talk more about personal experiences here, as well as comic book related stuff. But again, this is like a more intimate, more me, I guess, in a way, blog. The webcomics, of course, there's Rip Peterson, The Mighty Warlord, Nevermind, Clown, Delta Task Force 6, The Mysterious Exorcist, Stupid the Cat, Las Aventuras de Webamani Webito, and The Cannon Girl. And this here is my personal podcast, which I started more or less around the same time as the Truthful Comics podcast. And as you can see, I have 3 episodes of this podcast. It's called the Serene Chaos Podcast, where I kind of talk about the process, my creative process on doing these web comics, my art ventures and all that. And kind of share my inspirations and my process of how I do my things, so I can maybe inspire others to do their own thing, or if they're kind of stuck or just want to have a fresh, different perspective on how to approach something, they can have that alternative and maybe even give me some kind of new ideas as well. And I'm hoping to pick that up again soon. I don't think I mentioned I don't think I mentioned this in the last video, but as soon as Truthful Comics begins doing their podcast again, and I start doing this podcast as well, hopefully by that time I'll have gotten a better microphone that's specifically for podcasting. So because I want to, as I mentioned before with the 100s videos, I want to put a little bit more effort into the things that I do, just to make things of better quality. And what I consider a better quality, I guess, is up to my own standard of what I think should be a better sounding or a better visually more attractive, more engaging, entertaining videos or shorts or web comments. I just want to make more of an emphasis on doing quality things, which is why I kind of cut back also on not doing too many web comics at the same time, and I'm taking my time to just like check them off one by one. So hopefully, sorry about that. I just got a text that it's finally snowing here in New York City. I hope it snows at least a little bit. Like, I love snow, and when I was little I was more used to New York being full of snow, and ever since I moved back, my girlfriend would joke that I brought the winter back to New York, because that's when the city started having snowstorms again. And anybody would think that I have like attention deficit or something if you listen to these videos, and I really don't. Like, I come off as distracted easily or something. That's the perils of doing this without any kind of script and off the cuff and whatnot. But at least this time I included background music. Yeah. Anyway, I lost my train of thought there. So yeah, hopefully I'm going to get a better equipped microphone to do the podcasts again, and of course use for the videos as well, so the audio can be a little bit better. And here in Creative is where I have my art stuff. It's essentially an online portfolio where I have like samples of my sequential art, pencil sketches, inks, colors, 2014's Inktober videos, which is pretty much the videos that I have on YouTube that I can link here, and of course writings where I will put excerpts of scripts of things that I'm writing, either for webcomics or novels, which I'm planning to do, and that kind of good stuff. Store, that's a link pretty much to my Etsy store. I will put links to my Etsy store once I have more material to sell there. The about, of course, that is of the page about me, links to other cool sites, and contacts, of course, if you want to contact me. And of course, up here I have the quote from the immortal legendary Bruce Lee: "Still waters grow stale, so you have to keep on flowing." And I think I'm going to end it on that note, a more positive note, and also at the same time check out how many pages I've done of clowns so I can keep track of that. Actually, I have 4 pages done of Clown Rogue Assassin Chapter 2, so that's good news for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Day 9 of 100 days of making comics. You know the drill, flawless victory. Hopefully you guys will have a great rest of the week. I'll catch you all tomorrow, hopefully. So take care. If you have snow, enjoy the snow, and if you don't, enjoy life in general. Yeah, let's end this on a more positive note. Still waters grow stale, so you have to keep on flowing.